The other is the Q element that puts quote marks around a bit of text inline. First, the block quote element, which you can see demonstrated here. In the browser, you'll see it's just indented text, and if I go ahead and shrink down the browser so that it wraps, you'll see that it's indented on both sides, but it's not centered or anything. And that's actually how the block quote element is often used. It's often used just to indent text. It's not used necessarily to mean this is a block of quoted text. So be aware of that, and when you're using the block quote element, be sure to use it to mean what it's supposed to mean, and if you need to just indent text, you can use style sheets for that with a regular paragraph. The new Q element, and I say new, it's been around now for almost 10 years, but it's not actually supported by a lot of browsers, so it's not used very much. Be sure to check with the browsers that matter to you before you try to use it. It puts quote marks around a piece of text in line. So here we have a word with quote marks around it here, and I'll just take those quote marks and I'll change it for the Q element and close the Q here. So that's the Q element. It's an inline element, as you see, and it's being used to quote that word. So I'll go ahead and save that and reload it in the browser. So the nice thing is there are nice curly quotes in English. There's a couple of things about it, the Q tag, that you need to be aware of. One is it's supposed to be internationalized, and so if I were to sit here and put language equals French, you should get French quotes, which are one above and one below. And I save that and reload it, and you see it doesn't change anything, so that's not fully supported in Firefox. And in actuality, the tag isn't supported at all in some browsers, notably Internet Explorer. And so if you use it, you may just not get any quotes at all. So be sure to test it in the browsers that are important to you before you use it. It'd be a handy tag if it were actually supported well, but unfortunately it's not. So those are the quoting elements. They don't actually get used for what they mean, and they don't always work for what they're supposed to work for. So be aware of that when you try to use them.